Recently, there was a significant update to Quest 2, as well as some incredible Quest Pro news, which demonstrates that the launch of PSVR2 had a serious impact on Meta Quest 2 and Quest Pro. And now, they're unlocking new features all of a sudden after PSVR2's huge success. And cutting prices 2 times in just a couple of weeks is just one example. But before we get into all these major upsets, please consider subscribing. Now, not only do we have some big features with the all-new software update, but we have some serious updates from inside Meta, which every Quest owner has been looking forward to. One of the first and most significant changes is that the Quest 2 may now open your browser without closing your VR apps. With Quest 2, it was not possible to open your browser while inside another VR program. However, this capability is now fully unlocked. Formerly, this feature was only available on the Quest Pro. And keep in mind that your Quest 2 requires a significant amount of graphics power from the headset in order to multitask. So, if you attempt to use this excessively, you may probably notice some significant skipping or unresponsiveness. Moreover, you cannot use the browser while within your VR app, and vice versa. As a result, you can't play a game and watch a YouTube video at the same time. Nevertheless, a second significant element that many people were unaware of was that Meta had finally resolved the automatic Quest 2 app upgrades. Even if you left your headset charging for hours, you might put it back on and discover that the apps you intended to use still required a time-consuming update, despite the fact that this capability has been available for a longer amount of time but hasn't worked at all up until now. This means that while using VR, you must wait as the program downloads. Of course, you can remove the headset, but then you won't know when the update is finally complete. However, the issue has now been resolved thanks to this updated software. But the direct touch interface that uses your fingertips is perhaps the biggest change brought about by the V50 upgrade. Up until now, using your Quest system interface required you to point in a specific direction with a line coming directly from your controllers, or in the case of hand tracking, straight from your fingertips, and then select an option by pressing buttons or pinching your fingers together. This was incredibly counterintuitive because it will enable you to just reach out and touch the interface you wish to engage with. Direct touch implementation might completely change the game, even allowing you to swipe as you would on a tablet or smartphone. The nice part is that it functions in hand tracking mode with your controller as well. Those who desire to interact with their virtual settings should encounter significantly less resistance as a result of this overall experience. Although it is far from perfect, it is undoubtedly a significant first step in the right path. But Meta also gave us some other important news, because Meta just announced a significant price drop on Quest Pro models to a total of $1,000. More astonishingly though, the Quest 2 is now also seeing a discount and got a total of $430, which is $70 less than its previous pricing point. That's actually pretty interesting. In particular, given that Meta recently raised the price, numerous reports and rumors claim that Meta is under pressure because of Sony's success with PSVR2. And others believe these price reductions are mostly brought on by the impending Quest 3 device. It will therefore be interesting to observe what transpires once this is eventually released. Another intriguing development is the addition of native support for the Quest Pro and eye tracking in VR conversation. Developers revealed this in a video peek demonstrating how VR chat now supports controller-free hand tracking in addition to running on the standalone headset. Eye tracking is indeed a great leap, but the only caveat is the face dragging is still not allowed. Meta doesn't end here. There's something even bigger coming from Meta with RayBan. Meta is developing their third generation of smart spectacles, which will even come with a neural wristband. Currently, RayBan offers 2 generations of smart glasses on the market that can record both images and movies. Even they include a speaker and microphone input for for taking calls and listening to music. Yet, an AR display is not included with these glasses. With those third-generation glasses, we now have the good news of an integrated screen that can produce a genuine augmented reality experience. Even more intriguing is the fact that input will be provided via the neural wristband. Such a device is capable of recognizing even quite delicate finger motions, which might completely change everything we know so far. This complex technology works by reading the neurological signals that are pressing through your arm, coming all the way from your brain to the end of your fingertips. Now, coming to the major VR gaming news, Population 1, which is a blockbuster battle royale shooting game, which had a price tag of $30 originally, but now it will be free to play from end of March 2023. The Oculus Rift and Steam versions of the game will cost $20, so PSVR headsets won't be free. Aww. However, PC editions will feature $20 of in-game currency, and original owners will receive a huge bundle prize worth over $80. They also announced that a new single-player mode, player lobbies, and a bigger sandbox would be released this month. Nonetheless, Resident Evil 4 will receive free PlayStation VR2 DLC. This is an exclusive remake for PS5. Developers are also confirming that the game will have a complete VR feature at no extra cost, although the release date remains unknown. Arc and Aid, a new Quest game, is an action-packed first-person shooter set in the 1980s arcade period. You must fire your way through vintage futuristic stages and iconic, over-the-top bosses. This one is great for arcade fans because it includes numerous game types and a difficulty setting that ranges from beginner to hardcore, especially if you appreciate the pop culture era with lots of valuable mysteries and awards. No Man's Sky is now available on PlayStation VR2. Another significant announcement. We expected this game to release later this year, yet it's already out, and with it comes an all-new update to the game with a bunch of new features to all versions and some VR-specific changes, such as having to completely change the heads-up display to make it work in virtual reality and adding haptic feedback to the triggers and sense controllers so you can explore space to your heart's content. So these were the major PSVR2 and Quest 2 updates. Subscribe for more VR stuff and we'll see you next time.